All right, welcome to another scene of Gotham by Night. Here we revisit some widely different individuals. Recently, Talon had just completed a delivery mission of food and medical supplies to the Old City, and he's just returning to the bar and burlesque, the Velvet Rose. It is here we meet with Dr. Kloss and Creed. Without further ado. So Talon sort of walks in. He's already on his way to the barkeep. I'm just going to update this. On his way to the barkeep, he had just completed the mission. I'm assuming you two are either already there or on your way there. And he kind of picks up this reward from Jason, and it's like a vest that he immediately slips under his hoodie. And you note that he's got a gun wound. And he kind of just tosses his jacket to the side like it served its purpose.
All right. So Creed is half slumped over, half sitting in Tatiana's private booth again. Like, this is probably a high-scale booth. Obviously, he's not really supposed to be there, and yet the staff are just letting him sit there.
Same as last time, feet up, yes. Just ready to piss anybody off.
Yeah.
And what about you, Dr. Kloss?
I'd probably be sitting at the bar again, just sipping on a glass of water that's probably been standing there for a few hours already.
So this guy with like blood coming out of his chest is just like, I'm ready for that now. And he takes off his jacket that he had over his hoodie, and he grabs this vest. And there's like no pretense of social clout. He just like pulls his hoodie off by the neck over top, slips the vest on, slips his hoodie back on, like right there on the spot. But as he does so, you see that he has a bullet in his chest or torso.
So I just have to chew off. If I'm seeing this, I'm definitely gonna...
Well, if you're at the bar, Taylor will be going up to the bar. Jason's the guy that gave him the job and given him the vest.
Yeah, I'd definitely be looking over and just frowning a little bit when I see the fly. Like, really? This is what we're doing on my night off? And he just goes, do you need help with that?
Talon kind of looks at you and you're like, oh, I've seen you before. Not that long ago, actually. What with?
The bleeding that's going on. That wound.
He just kind of cocks his head and he's like, what would it cost me? Like, well, this is Talon, so it's more like just what's it cost?
You know what? The first one's free. I've been doing it for others. Why not as well? You as well.
Kind of shrugs and he's like, well, I should be suspicious of this. You know, I never take anything for free because there's usually a catch. But I still have a fucking bullet in me, so...
Hey, like, go ahead.
I'm sure I can provide something in the future. And he's... So in the end of it, he just kind of shrugs and takes his hoodie and his vest off again. Then he's just like, well, okay.
All right. I'm gonna... He shuffles like a little bit closer. I don't know if he's just like shuffling the bar stool closer or what he's doing. It probably is, knowing him.
So this bullet wound is from a pistol. He took on a couple of gangsters, and one of them managed to get lucky on a chance die. So he's got 2 lethal.
All right. I'm gonna spend 2 rounds then, just so we're all aware. The DM thinks I'm gonna take 2 rounds to do this. Actually, I'm gonna start with 1 round to see how many successes I get. I'm gonna
Alright.
I put my hand over the wound, like full on faith healer style. And
Are
I'm
you
gonna
doing this just at the bar?
Yeah, we're just sitting at the bar, and he's just like Talon has no concept of social veneer, really. He won't use supernatural powers here because he knows that like it's respectable, but like for him, it's everything's about pragmatism. So he's like, well, this jacket's useless now, and now I got this vest, so let me just replace it. There's no like, well, I probably should do that here concept.
and I'm a doctor. They probably
he's
see me
just
do
like,
this
I have an
before.
obligation to do this.
At this point, that's very well chance that some of them have seen me fucking healing people before.
Fair enough.
So about a round in, I'm probably just going to shout out drunkenly after probably noticing this.
Oh, if you're hungry, this is human blood, so you might have to end up making a roll for that.
Huh? Do you have drugs in your system?
No.
Then no.
Okay, you only feed off drug people.
I have to spend willpower.
Oh yeah. Acute. So, not acute
Huh?
senses.
No,
just
I
really
have to
pop.
spend 2 willpower to feed off anyone else.
Oof.
Well, I rolled 3 successes, so that's 3 lethal heal, so you're good. Not even a scar. And I just like remove my hand. There's just a bullet in his palm. He's like looks around
So-
for a fucking trash can.
At this point, Creed is going to just shout out, half drunkenly, "Dude, not in public!"
Talon just kind of shrugs, like, okay, that's something learned, and looks over to the doctor, and he's just like, thanks.
It's my job. I like to help.
I know that Creed's vampire, and it kind of bugs me that I don't know exactly what you are, so I think it's probably rude to outright ask. Like, he's not completely useless in a social situation, but at the same time, he's just like cocking his head towards you. He's like, what are you?
I'm mortal. It just gives you a little smile. He thinks it's hilarious. Nobody knows what the fuck he is. Nobody can figure it out.
Are you... Well, he's not going to ask, are you friendly? Because clearly you kind of are, to an extent.
Very
anyway.
friendly.
How would I phrase this question? He's not necessarily asking you for work. He's already got an employer, sort of, for better than for worse. But it's more like, where do you sit? And if you take a minute, he probably means like, where do you live or where do you work? Like, where do you spend most of your time?
Looks down at his bar stool at first, but like, this is my spot. This is my stool.
This is my stool. Because to him, he's lived in the bush most of his time, so he's like, what is a house? Well, he's not what is a house, but like the concept of home and hearth is something that his lair provides. So the idea of somebody living down here is kind of not foreign, but something he doesn't do. So that's why he's asking, like, where do you squat during the day?
I spent most of my time at the clinic downtown.
Oh,
I'm a doctor.
clearly. He kind of like, as I see him dressed again, and he's just like, clearly.
The kind and the more supernatural kind.
Mm.
When the
He
American
kind
one
of
can help my brethren.
he kind of casts this like sidelong glance at Creed, and he's like, "Do you know him?"
Creed?
Well, I don't know Creed's name, so it's as far as talent's concerned,
Oh.
he's just like casting this like sidelong glance. He's like, "Do you know him?"
Oh yes, that's Marcus. I went to school with him, believe it or not. Dr. Glasses looks younger than Creed.
Not by much, actually. Like,
Also, you're wearing a beard that ages you.
yeah.
I've got full-on baby face.
I have that too if I actually bother to take care of my face. But he still has this like sidelong look on his face. He's like, after asking if you know him, he's like, is he friendly?
Well, he hasn't harmed me.
I know that he's a vampire, so it's more like, is he gonna try to eat me, or can we be friends?
You should ask him. I'm not. I met him the same night I met you again. I hadn't seen him for about 15 years before that.
Oh. His shoulders don't necessarily slump, but he's just like, oh, okay. Wait here. And then he's like, walks over to Creed. He's like, so how far are you off the deep end?
Hey, what's up, dude?
The class just takes a sip of his lukewarm water.
Oh, yeah, I have enough money for things now. I'll offer to buy him a drink.
Oh, and here I heard you had enough money, and Creed perked up.
That was a mental process. That was just like,
I know.
I have this thing that people use for things. So, like, as he approaches Creed, he's like, so how far off the deep end are you? Would you like to go further? And he kind of gestures like this arm gesture, the sweeping gesture towards the bar.
He's like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
He nods and then like sits down at the table with you, just not even giving a shit. He's just like, well, what do you want? Everybody wants something.
Gives a small smile and says, oh man, you can't afford what I want.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Not happening.
I know. Actually, yeah, he meant something completely different, but he's so high.
Oh, he dropped.
Did we lose Creed?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
So that's an awkward place to just drop because I'm sitting there at this table and this guy's just like, bye.
He just wrote me that his thing crapped out.
Ah. Oh.
Well, I'll take this time and hop off my bar stool and then like grab and just drag it with me over to the to the booth.
Oh yeah, we're all just sitting in this booth, a bunch of strangers at the bar.
Yeah. Me on a chair that's too high for the fucking booth.
I want to look down at you, you inferior pigs.
This is my chair. I said it as a joke. Now I mean it.
Oh man, oh man.
By the way, Mistress Tatiana kindly request to watch this live on your YouTube link if possible.
Oh, sure thing. I thought she went to bed, so.
Yeah, someone had to let her know Dr. Klaus was performing miracle healing in her bar.
I was being very discreet. I was just touching a half-naked man's chest. It is in a bar that's basically a
guy walks in with a bleeding gun wound.
Do I have to wait till
throws down his jacket. If you open, she said, whoever is hosting it can open the link on YouTube, then copy and paste.
Yeah, but do I want to put that in the scenes right away, or will it be under a different link once it's done?
Just send it to her directly.
Okay, no worries.
Well, I was told it was a it's a free zone.
So, we're all sitting in Mrs. Tatiana's booth. I sent her the link.
Yep.
Creed's got his feet up, saying, "You can't afford what I want." Back to Klaus brings his bar stool over, and he's just like, I don't know if he said anything, but I think that's all that's happened so far. And then Talon's just kind of invited himself to sit at this booth because everybody else is, apparently. And
So
he was interested in Creed, and he dropped
And he's gone.
it. Why?
Yeah, I genuinely thought this was, you know, place where we're allowed to do magic and shit. So if that's not the truth, then sure, fuck me. But that's what I got
Well,
out.
you're not supposed to use powers because it's Elysium or something similar.
Huh? Oh no, this isn't Elysium.
Yeah,
Oh.
This is just this out of character.
Oh, this is just what she enforces as a rule then.
Huh? Yeah, this is just her bar.
Oh.
This is no special place for the magic community.
See, that's what
Oh.
I thought. He said that last night that it was. That's why I did it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fucking done it in the first place. Done it in front of everything.
At any rate, that changes things a little bit.
Yeah.
But so I was under the impression this was Elysium because it's like an artsy, high-scale place, and
No.
places like that usually are. So, all right.
I definitely wouldn't have fucking healed you then.
So Creed's going to lean over, sort of, and put both elbows on the table, and kind of slump over, looking at Class, and goes, "Yes," holding up one of his hands and kind of teetering, goes, "You really shouldn't do that sort of stuff in public, you know?"
I mean, we're the only people in the bar. And Talon kind of just like, he doesn't say that, but he kind of shrugs and like has this sweeping gesture with his arms as if to suggest we're the only ones here.
Yeah, but what if we weren't?
Then I
What
wouldn't
if?
have done it.
So I'm guessing, well, you just fucking did a whole healing thing, and you can apparently heal Bob. So I'm guessing you're special.
We're all special.
So here, Bob.
And you ain't freaking out about any of this.
I'm not
So,
freaking out. I've seen at least a couple
My money
of
is
my life.
you're at least in the know. Probably something else.
Talon just nods. That it's like that bow he did when he first met you, and it's like his head goes down a little bit, his arms go a little wide, as if to suggest he's non-threatening, and he's like, "Yeah."
Like I said, we're all special.
So what do you two want? I've got crack, blow. I've got little purple dragon left.
The glass is literally puts his hands over his ears. I'm not hearing any of this.
Talon's just like humming and nodding, like this could be useful later.
So he's obviously a prude, pointing to Klaus.
I'm a doctor.
How about you? I can't sell in here.
I don't.
Tatiana freaks out.
Yeah.
Tati freaks out whenever I try selling in her club, but
He shakes his head no, like he's not a prude, but he's also not someone who personally partakes in this stuff. You naughty. Good times. So. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't realize that was a thing you could do. My bad. So the things that really stand out about Talon is A, he doesn't talk much, and B, he's kind of hard to freak out. Actually, I mean, he just had a bullet ripped out of him, so he may not know all of what's going on in this bar, but you can tell that he's clearly not like your average mortal just walking into a place like this.
It was nice and painful. Don't be a bitch.
I mean, it can't hurt as much as getting shot in the first place.
Exactly.
But I definitely don't put my feet on the table or anything like that. I'm very like good posture, kind of, you know. I'm not a total prude, but I also don't put my feet on places people eat things or drink. It's not even about the social thing. It's just like
That's
I
gross.
hunt. I don't want to. I don't want to, you know, taint anything, as it were. What else can I do? What else are you guys doing? I mean, he just rattled off all these drugs, and Dr. Klaus is like, I don't hear any of this. And
looking out into the sky like, I'm not hearing any of this.
and Talon is just like humming and nodding, like, hey, okay, I know what some of these things are.
So
I have a streetwise of 2, so I'm not like, I know what some of these things are.
if you don't want that, if you don't want that, what do you want?
This is where Talon actually gets a little bit animated. He doesn't slam his hand on the table, but like he puts his hand on the table with like a certain, not intensity. What's the right word?
Determinate.
Yes. He's like a determined. My hand's now on the table. Like I'm talking to you guys. Like you know how you kind of gather everybody around the bonfire for a story. He's just like leaning in and getting ready to say something. He's like, friends. Just one word, like this big dramatic delivery. He's like, friends.
Oh, we're friends now. Oh, that's nice.
He asked Talon what he wanted, so he's just like, friends.
Oh, okay, Klaus completely misunderstood that. Like, oh, you're calling me your friend. That's nice.
He's like, what do you want? This big dramatic, like, hands on the table. Friends.
Creed just gives this sort of smug smile, like a smile with his hot eyes half closed, looking down at you two. He goes, yeah, I can be your friend if you want me to.
And Talon at this like leans back. He's like relaxing. He's like, friends. Like the most simple exchange ever, but it's like so dramatic. He's just like, friends. Yeah, I can be your friend. Friends.
You gotta understand though. You're asking me to be your friend. I don't change for Tawny. I don't change for anyone. Capiche?
What?
I think you changed
everybody
from medical school. Clearly something changed.
He just nods, like he doesn't say anything, but he understands that everyone has a nature. Like he gets it.
Yeah. Turns to Klaus and goes, "Yeah, well, that's what Hot Lady will do for you," and waggles his eyebrows.
Oh man,
I am disgusted and confused. Why would you ever want to change for somebody else? It just gives like a really sincere look at Creed.
Well, I didn't really have a choice back then. Now I probably do, but I like who I am.
Okay, so this is we've had like 2 social things, but we haven't actually done anything that would constitute the family ties condition, so I just looked it up. You have to like hunt or endure common hardship or spend like a decent amount of time together before you can use family ties. But we're friends.
I don't even know if you can do family ties with me.
No.
Probably not.
Beasts are explicitly... Beasts and demons aren't exactly enemies. They're not... I mean, they're written as enemies, but like they're not... They just don't get along, usually.
We're just not compatible.
Yeah.
Well,
beasts generally don't get along with anything of the God Machine.
But technically, kind of not.
It's a weird relationship.
Yeah.
It turns to
Optimus
point to
he's probably driving now.
Dr. Klaus and points to him and he goes, "Well, I know who you are." Then points to Talon and goes, "I still have no idea what your name is."
He gives this like bow of his head and like the one hand on his chest and the arm gesture, like he's imitating some old movie he might have seen. He's like, "Talon," and then goes back.
Just slowly shakes his head and goes, "Kid, we gotta work on your introductions." Right. You can call me Creed. None of that Marcus shit.
All right. And he gives you that same nod that's just like, I understand this.
Well, I'm Dr. Christian Persh's class.
At hearing a doctor, he almost seems to like flinch, but not. You already helped him once, so he's not scared of you necessarily.
I was a doctor too.
It's more like, when's the last time I saw a doctor? Oh, right, that guy that cast me out of the city ever so long ago because he was naturally born in the bush, and the doctor was like, well, you shouldn't do that. And, yeah, anyway, that's character history, so. But yeah, so upon hearing doctor, he's like, is this guy going to kick me out of town? But you were already nice to him, so.
What the fuck would I do? I would probably just put you through a general physical to make sure you're all right, but
he has no understanding of that, though.
So, Creed then points to Talon's shoulder and goes, "So, where'd you get the bullet wound?"
Old City. Delivery. And he points to the barkeep.
Right. So you do that sort of shit.
Scout. As soon as you're like, you do that sort of shit, he just like, scout.
Well, Mr. Scouty. Again, Klaus here can be a bit of a prude. We love you for it, but you are what you are. But how about...
Part of my nature, unfortunately.
But how about you, kid? You willing to do something that might not be on the exact up and up?
Laws? He's basically asking if it's like illegal by regular laws or illegal by like somebody might actually hunt me down who's supernatural for doing this. Because those are very different things.
They are.
Well, illegal by normal laws, I guess you say.
Well, I don't even know what most of them are, so I guess.
Might have already broken them.
Gives a small smile and go, cool. Definitely he is a right-hand man.
Creed's not so naive that he's gonna just jump off the deep end for like, oh, you're my right-hand man, and then next thing you know, he's Kronk or some shit.
Start to clock him for this.
Huh? What? Creed's like basically going, cool, I can use a patsy.
Yeah, that's exactly what, yeah.
But he's going to take you under his wing, teach you the ins and outs of Boston. Or not Boston, Gotham.
Creed's so fucked up, he doesn't know where he is anymore.
Yeah. And make sure to corrupt you very nicely.
Oh. Well, there's ups and downs. Talon is loosely aware of how society works, but seeing as he's been outside of it for so long, it's very different. Apparently there was a big nasty cleansing of the city that jumped it into the cybernetic. So like he's completely unfamiliar with all of that because he's been gone since fucking forever basically. So, and to my understanding, that happened only like a decade ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is like a whole new world for him.
Mita would have been in the city when that happened.
So like the old city, he has a pretty good understanding of because that's how the world was for him before he ditched, basically. But all the cool cybernetic stuff, he's like from old country. So.
Ich weiß nicht.
Well, you've seen what Creed drives around on, right?
No, I haven't. I think I've only ever seen you two in the bar, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let me find this picture and then I'll post it in here also. Put it up a while ago.
It's a death machine. That's what it is.
Those. I've driven a few of those. Good old $500 Kijiji specials.
Here, I'm putting it up a link in the chat because I don't know how to do the other thing.
In general?
In
private chat in the StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So, what else are you guys doing around this table of inequity and corruption? Oh, it's like right out of Akira, essentially. Well, faster because it's a jet, but yeah. Can I save this? Okay. I will.
Plus, just having the feeling that he's gonna be very busy in the near future. just a feeling. Not sure why.
Well, I
Probably
can't
should
say.
share this with you, but YouTube better keep. So, kid, are you supernatural or not? You still haven't said.
Just straight out with it. I'm actually going to use needs must and mark both of you. Because you're friends, and you may need him sometime in the future, and that'll help him get to you that much faster. And that should answer your whether he's supernatural, because most things have a means of detecting supernatural powers.
Yeah, I would. If you point anything my way, I will definitely know you're doing something.
I don't think vampires have a supernatural detection.
I have, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
always on. What did you do?
So the satiety effect of needs must lets me borrow your senses for a number of minutes up to my lair, and I can track you to the ends of the earth.
Ooh, I can do something similar. I just need to pack you first.
But
Actually, I just need to know your full name.
oh,
Which I don't actually think I've gotten out of you yet. Wait, did you mention your full name when you introduced yourself?
nope. I literally just bowed my head and said, Talon. That's it. Alright, so now I have needs must on Creed and Klaus.
Creed's just looking around confused.
Just,
And Klaus is like, shit happened! Oh no!
Dr. Klaus's spider senses are tingling. He's just looking at you like, I know you did something.
Well, he asked me if I was supernatural. Just saying I am is not gonna prove anything, right? Any mortal can be like, yeah, I'm totally a vampire. I go to this weird goth bar every fucking Friday. No, like, if you're gonna ask if someone's supernatural, Talon figures he should provide proof. And this is like the most harmless thing he can do that actually helps you guys.
He's definitely supernatural.
Right, in that case, he gestures you guys to lean in a little bit more.
I'll lean forward on my fucking bar stool.
Just teetering.
Don't do fucking supernatural things in public.
Oh, I know that.
Well, Talon's kind of new, and now he knows rather definitively. But I mean, he wasn't. This didn't occur to him as public.
Yeah, same.
Also, heads up,
Yeah, what's up?
one of the local crazies is hunting our kind and likes to dissect them when they find them.
You say,
Your kind or all kind?
yeah.
All kind from what I got.
That's concerning.
Yeah, so, one of the Talon kind of obviously gestures towards the bar. He's like, so this is. He says it in one word naturally. He's like, public? Like, he doesn't really use his powers in the actual public. Like, he's not going to go to the mall and start bouncing around powers. But, like, he's basically asking you if this constitutes as public with just the three of us here, how far, how do you define this term in his terms, in his, like, mind?
Enough so.
Because it's not his first brush with the supernatural. He knows not to use magic in a museum or a mall or the street, but like, what makes this place so special? What makes, how is he supposed to know, essentially?
But all you've met is supernaturals in here, and you've been told it's a supernatural friendly place. You're gonna assume it's a supernatural friendly place.
Well, what he was doing was friendly. That's as he sees it.
Normies come in and out of here all the time. Where stuff... It's a friendly warning simply because not everything that comes in here is exactly friendly.
He nods like he's sort of understands and keeps it in mind for the future that he won't use supernatural powers, even around other supernaturals in certain places.
She's already had 1 or 2 guests come in that weren't so friendly, and the bitch upstairs has a lot of enemies apparently.
Okay. I figured this may have been like after closing hours because of all the scenes that have happened already in this same night. All right.
I think her club's open 24 or all night long.
At any rate, Niesmust is super subtle. It's not like there's anything attached to it. It's literally just, oh, I kind of know where you guys are now.
Right. I think.
Oh, right, Creed. You're a supernatural splat. I don't think you have aspects, but if you had a means of, I think supernatural splats, when you use the satiety expenditure of an activism, you see this like skull in the place of Talon just kind of hovering there for just the span of a blink when he uses the activism.
Creed's going to blink, but assume it's the shrooms finally kicking in.
Oh, okay. And then the doctor probably just sees the skull. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
See a lot of shit.
Is there anything else we aim to do here? Is there any goal here? We've kind of established that we're friends and all, but I'm supposedly hunting with another beast eventually tomorrow. But in the meantime, is there anything we actually wish to accomplish?
I think someone wants to make a pact with me of some sort.
I want to make a pact with everyone. But that doesn't have to happen now. We usually need to build a bit of a rapport first.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I said that earlier with the family ties. It'll take a little bit more than just a drink and a chat.
So, Kit, you like fight clubs? Or no, he's not going to say that straight out. He's going to be like, he's going to look towards Stal and go, so, Kit, you like this kind of scene, or do you like something a bit more anti or more down to earth and not so snooty?
He kind of has this gesture he does where he's like drawing a bow, and you see him kind of smile. And he's like, Earth is good.
I don't think that's what he meant. Call it a hunch.
Talon is kind of not the most social thing in the world right now. He's gradually reintegrating with society. But he's like, do you like places down to Earth? And Talon's just like, Earth is good.
I like how you're reestablishing yourself in society. The first two people you make friends with is the weird doctor and the fucking junkie.
There's nobody else around. That's what's available.
Yeah. It's just funny. I have this strange feeling we're gonna be the fucking marauders once we're finished. We just need a fourth and then we're done.
Oh my god.
Funny you should say that. I have the perfect guy for that.
There are no private rooms, only booths. The apartment
Oh,
upstairs
I'm a
is-
chance character.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Huh?
I'm a chance character whenever they come in.
That or Owlboy.
Well, Owlboy is leaving.
Anthony. Huh?
Owlboy is changing.
No,
The character.
you can have two characters.
Yeah, but he said he was gonna dump Owl.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. I mean, he might
Okay.
change his mind, but that's what he said.
Okay, never mind. Then
Okay.
get the other Deva vampire, yeah.
So Talon,
whatever
after
Avatar's
after he's like doing that bow drawing gesture and saying the Earth is good, he kind of like looks at Creed. You'll know that he doesn't really make eye contact like ever, so it's a little bit weird maybe, but he points to your jacket and he's like, so what is this? And he's referring to like all the things you listed off earlier. Because he's like, well, I know what some of those are, but like some of them I haven't heard before. And I'm kind of like, what does this do?
So his eyes brighten as he goes into excruciating detail on the effects of each drug, using a mix of both scientific terms, which proves that he's like almost like as if he's educated on the actual effects, but often switching like rapidly from science to street terms. Like he's using like he keeps flip-flopping. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
Clutch is nodding slightly because he knows the terms. He might not know what they're doing in that way, but he knows the terms. And he's probably had to deal with one or two junkies that has accidentally gotten on something they shouldn't be before.
And then he looks around.
Okay.
Like very cautiously. And then sort like he's obviously like high, drunk, and probably not making the best decisions right now. Opens his jacket and you just see him point to a little vial, or not even a little vial,
I feel like shit.
a like a vial filled with this black liquid, and
He's handing this to me.
no, he's not handing it to
Oh.
anyone.
He's just showing it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gives a small smile like he's showing off. He goes, "You know what this is, kid?"
He's like, this is my street cred. Look at this.
The class shakes his head even though he knows you're not talking to him.
Yeah.
And I actually have really heightened senses, so I can probably like smell it just from where I'm sitting.
If you can
But-
smell it from where you're sitting,
Delivery, please.
you should probably make a stamina roll. Otherwise, you're going to.
Is it like a sealed
705,
vial?
97.
Yeah, it's a super sealed vial.
Oh, okay. I
I've
won't
got
even.
to guess to what it is. But my
Anyway, he
character
just
would
kind of
know.
nods and like takes note of its appearance.
He quickly shuts his jacket and goes, "Ever hear of the Scarecrow, kid?" Or he doesn't say kid. He looks at both of you and goes, ever hear of the Scarecrow?
If the Scarecrow existed 15 years ago, yes.
Large Hawaiian and large meat lovers.
I don't know if he did or not.
We'll just go with yes. Fuck it.
All right. Ever hear of the Scarecrow? And someone
Does he have
says yes.
another name? Like an actual name.
Oh, I see.
Because working off of my own DC knowledge, I do believe he's an actual some sort of doctor. In which case, I would probably know about him of his real name.
Yeah.
After you show that
No.
off, Talon pulls out his cell phone and points to it.
All right.
And kind of looks at both of you. Like he's not really sure what to do with it, but he's got a pretty good idea. Like he's got a dot of computer, so like he's just
Same.
kind of asking for your phone numbers in his Talon way.
I don't even think I have one point.
So he says, yeah, I think he goes by, he used to be called something Jonathan or Johnny or John or Jonathan Crane.
I was just told.
So I had to step out for a split second, and I came back at Jonathan Crane.
He was asking what the name was.
Oh, for
of
the Scarecrow?
Yeah.
That
Oh.
does ring a bell.
Smiles and goes, got myself some of his fear toxin.
He's what? He's a medical practitioner. I thought he was a psychiatrist.
A lot of stuff
Raises an
involves
eyebrow.
the storyteller, but I can still get another drink, or a drink, because I haven't had one at all, and Creed is clearly having the best time here.
Yes.
Go and get
Just
my
shocking
weird
the shit out of class.
bastardization of like a bunch of different whiskeys mixed together.
By the way, while you're getting up, Creed's going to grab your phone absently and put his number into it. Or one of his numbers.
Okay.
Oh, would you mind putting mine in there too? While you're at it.
Talon just kind of like, okay. He just shrugs. He's like, do whatever you're gonna do. It's not like I have any other contacts other than the barkeep, so you're not gonna like screw anything over for me.
Yeah.
Just accidentally put in the fucking number to fucking Pizza Hut.
All right. When he comes back with his drink, he points to his temple, like his eyes, and looks at both of you as if to sort of relay earlier that that's what he did. Is now he can track you guys, or has an idea where you are anyway, and he's just like, Talon, help, or when in need, let me know, kind of thing, if you can figure out a way. Actually, no, this is like sophisticated for Talon. I think he's just gonna say friends as he points to his temple, and puts the phone away.
Klaus looks vaguely confused. Like, why are we friends with your temple?
Because I'm. Does it have to be a human subject?
Well, we're in a
God can
now,
borrow
so we're
senses.
decent,
and you've already
we're
got
decently
senses.
private. If you want to actually elaborate on it a little bit, we are in a booth, which is decently private.
Borrow its senses. So it doesn't matter what it is. If I can see it and mark it, I can borrow its senses. Doesn't matter what. Cool. I'll add Creed to the stream. So,
That would make it easier, yes.
yeah, so he points to his temple and glances at both of you as he says, friends. And after a slight pause, he's like, help each other. Like the most awkward sentence delivery ever. Is Creed actually here?
Yes.
Okay.
Creed's going to just give a small chuckle and go, well, if you're going to be working with me, first thing we gotta work on is your dictionary.
He'll warm up to you guys eventually. It's not that he's got average intelligence. I'm not just like playing him stupid. He's only got one presence and one manipulation.
He's just awkward.
He's smart. He's just not the most
Eloquent.
eloquent. There we go.
Well, you know, what's your last name? You have a last name, don't you?
He actually can't remember his last name at the moment. It's been like so long since you've had to use his name at all.
Then it doesn't matter. Then Talon is what is your true name.
Like eventually he will reconnect with his past. That's one of the main things he's trying to do. Is like, who am I? Like, I know there's more to me than this.
Yeah.
And
the way my specific power for locating people is I have to know the name they consider their true name. So Talon only knows himself as Talon. That's his true name.
No, he knows that he has a last name, and he knows that it probably starts with F,
but
he
if
can't
he
remember the rest of it.
doesn't know what it is, that's still not. That is still just Talon.
Yeah.
In your like, it doesn't need to be your actual
your birth
name you consider yourself. Like Creed, I wouldn't be able to find him with the name Marcus because he doesn't consider himself Marcus anymore.
He considers himself Creed.
Yeah.
Marcus died.
Fair enough.
It's a weird
Seeing
thing.
as we're all using powers.
It's a demon thing. It's a weird thing. There's a lot of stipulations.
We've established we're friends.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine you're gonna turn that against me too quickly.
Nah.
At least not here, anyway.
He'll just.
Right. So you can heal people. You can track things.
I can track things too.
All right, keep your dick down there, bull.
Jeez. Are you asking? Talon looks Creed like dead in the face, but still kind of lower than his eyes, and he's like, capabilities? and he kind of like lists off a couple things. He's like, bow, run, climb, find.
Alright. Well, either of you want to see what I can do?
He kind of steps out of the booth before nodding yes. He's like, whatever you're doing, if it blows up or if there's like, if it's gonna like hurt me, I'm kind of done with the hurt things for a little bit.
Okay, I need a volunteer.
Please don't do any harm.
Won't be harmful.
Please don't make any of us addicted to anything.
Don't worry, it'll wear off
In
in a couple hours.
I'm
concerned.
Alan's a little concerned too.
Eeny, miny, meeny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. And out goes you. And he points to Klaus. So he turns to Talon. You up for this?
He doesn't even know what he's getting into, so he's just like, he just shrugs. He's like, I don't know.
I have no idea what you're gonna do. I'm horrified already.
So Creed's going to turn on his awe.
Oh, that wouldn't work on me anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah. It doesn't work on you?
I've got resistance to anything that's considered changing with my mind or my emotions.
Wow, you like completely blow
everything.
Yeah, that's like wow.
It generally says supernatural induced emotions or coercions are considered mind control. And I'm immune to mind control. Or resistant to mind control.
You're resistant.
Yeah, I'm I'm resistant. I'm not immune. I'm immune
So
to
would-
possession.
Would that mean we make a Clash of Wills?
You'd be making a Clash of Wills with Talon if you're doing that.
I don't.
I mean, this
Nobody
is
told
just
me how resistant works, so I'm not sure. It depends on what.
Alright. So
Usually it's a Clash of Wills,
yeah,
like the vast majority of the time.
yeah.
So depending on how that is for Demon,
Yeah, but I can't
Um,
spend the faith points to automatically succeed against it.
oh,
So
well, that's kind of insane.
That's kind of like really broken. I
What?
don't even think you may just get that.
I don't have the Demon book to verify any of this, so
yeah.
He's
Well,
he's using a fan based conversion of
yeah,
Demon the Fallen.
and this is
Ooh,
like it's
right,
and it's made
yeah.
less powerful. It's made a lot less powerful.
At any rate,
So
if you're affecting Talon, there's a Clash of Wills.
Huh? First things first. Keep in mind what I just turned on is my awe.
Anything that
isn't-
affects my emotions or attempts to control, like manipulate me, is Clash of Wills with Alien Mindset.
All right.
But it doesn't disable it. It just gives you like a minor penalty. So, dice. Where are you? There you are. Slash roll. What is it? 3, 6.
Luckily, vampires have a humongous
nice pool.
dice pool for this
Yeah.
because it's
I rolled 4 successes because those are 2 10s.
because I think it's my presence plus my majesty plus my blood potency.
Oh, you have a devotion for it? Because
Uh-huh.
usually
Deva.
it's not.
Davis.
Usually it's
Davis,
just
you have
your
to have
blood potency and
extra shit.
majesty, unless you've got a devotion.
Really? I thought it was vampires.
Unless
I
it
thought
says
was-
specifically. Well, I got the vampire book, so I can definitely. It's a. Oh, this is just a Clash of Wills, so it's literally just your majesty and blood potency.
All right.
This isn't the actual effect that you're casting yet.
Well, you have 10.
Because it's a permanent effect, it gets +4 to the Clash of Wills.
I didn't know all was a permanent effect.
Well, it's persistent, so it's considered
Oh.
permanent.
Yes.
If an effect would last a day, it gets +1. If it lasts a week, it gets +2. If it lasts a month, it gets +4.
Ah,
and a year,
last
or-
a scene.
Yeah.
All only lasts a scene.
Yeah, that's not. It has to be a day, a week, a month, or a year. It's not.
Then it would
based
be
on
a day.
No, because the scene doesn't necessarily last more.
So
than
why
that.
are
Must
you
That's
last
the
a
thing to me.
year.
Wait, why are you getting +4 for whatever?
Because I'm using an effect that's persistent, as in it's always active, as in it's
Okay.
permanent, which means it lasts more than a year, which is the condition for a Clash of Wills to get +4.
So it's your effect that does it, not the all. Okay.
It's specifically persistent. So, because I had 4 successes in the Clash, you suffer my lair as a penalty to use your mental ability, in addition to my. Normally, it's contested by my supernatural tolerance and something for majesty. But you suffer.
Right. So
You should have picked
My
me
gosh.
then.
awe is just a universal effect. I just turn on an aura.
Yeah.
This is just me
There's no
getting a.
rule associated with it?
It's just me gets a bonus to my presence.
Yeah.
Oh well, if you're not even affecting me, then it doesn't. That was irrelevant. I thought you were
Right.
affecting me with like the mental effect.
No, it's. I mean, yes and no. I mean, it doesn't normally like target someone. It's just like you turn this on and you become this person that everybody just they can't take.
It
your
only
eye off.
affects you though because you're
Yeah.
just bolstering your majesty. But if you were to do something Like the second or third dot is where.
Yeah.
where
I'm not
that-
spending blood on any of this.
Yeah. He's just making himself more interesting to us, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you add your majesty dots to present rolls.
I mean, I would technically have to roll against this, but I wouldn't actually mind failing it because it's just.
Yeah, there's no roll; it just adds to your presence. But I would normally subtract your majesty dots from wisdom and composure rolls. Otherwise, you use your predatory aura to fortify yourself against it. But anyway, what are you even doing?
I was turning on my awe to give an example of what I could do.
Oh.
That's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay. Then that whole like Clash of Rules and everything was
Alright.
largely irrelevant.
So I turn on this. Go. So I can make myself charming to a increased degree. And then he walks over and just easily picks up Talon. Plus, I'm quite physically fit.
And Talon like grimaces at being touched, but he's
Alarm.
like, alright.
And I can accelerate both of these if I so desire.
That is quite useful.
You actually used Awe, which is a supernatural power, and then the passive effect of Vigor, or are you just naturally that strong?
A little of both.
Okay.
I have Vigor in this gives me extra dots.
That's what I mean. The persistent
So,
effect of
yeah.
Vigor is, yeah.
Yeah. So I have 3 strength, then 2 dots.
When you pick him up, you see him grimace, but in that same motion, he just kind of disappears.
Oh.
Don't use supernatural powers.
Says the guy who just used one.
Well, lifting up a person is something normal people can do too.
And this is a guy who is heavily muscled.
Yeah. Like if
Okay.
I did it, I could probably do it too, but it would be look a lot more strange to normal people if I did it. Because I look like
He looks built, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Let me put up another face claim of this guy.
he's really buff. I have a character with the same exact fucking model.
I know
in
Jason
another game.
Momoa is. So, alright. So he doesn't disappear then, because we've established that that's a bad idea. Several times in this single scene, so we're just gonna be like, he just grimaces. He might not shimmer, but he grimaces. And he's like, I can... well, how can I phrase this? And when you pick him up and he grimaces, he just kind of says not subtle in that same awkward delivery as he points to himself.
He puts the guy down and goes, right. Anyways, I can do more than that, but we all got our secrets.
Yes.
He nods and gives that same like non-threatening bow. Just that's obvious.
As long as we're in the sharing mood, healing's not the only thing I can do. I can do other things, unfortunately. They're not as nice.
Good to know.
So I had an aspiration for form some sort of community / family, find a mentor or retainer, and I'm not sure Creed is like Creed said he'd kind of take Talon under his wing. So would that work for a mentor?
Depends. Are you going to treat him as a mentor?
As long as you're not hopping me up on drugs every day, we're fine.
No, I'm just going to have you be selling drugs.
Oh.
It's gotta be a runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Alright.
That gives me a beat. Sweet too. Now, in addition to running food and medicine, I run a different kind of medicine.
Sweet.
Because beats. Also, laws are somewhat not my forte.
Yeah, I get it. Actually, I healed you, so I would lose 1 point of torment. Hey, because I did it for free.
Yeah, Talon is definitely trying to find more about his past. But until then, you, I guess, technically can do whatever you want to him with your name powers now.
Actually, I'd get a
Just
B2
disconcerting.
with that. Yeah.
But I mean, Talon's already paranoid enough that he's not making eye contact with anybody. If he found out that your powers are based on his name, he would be like, not petrified, but it's just like, oh,
Most of them
okay,
aren't.
well,
It's
this is
just-
something else I shouldn't be doing.
It's just following. It's just knowing where you are whenever I
Oh.
need you. It's out of character. That's all it is.
Okay.
At least at the moment.
So now I'm a truck runner. Life is okay. No. So what else are we doing here in this bar? I guess we could, go somewhere else. Like they were saying, it's not the only place in town. Just maybe, I'm not going to say show talent around, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some other locations that he can go into that aren't vampire only, or vice versa.
I would. The only other place that they've had me have a scene in that's repeatable is is on the sushi bar. So yeah.
Sushi. Fuck yeah.
So we can go there if you want. I know that Creed's been hanging out at Underground Fight Club, but I have yet to actually see the Fight Club
Okay.
in scene.
I'm all for going to the sushi bar because I can't remember last time my character ate something, let alone slept. So,
Same.
so it's probably a good idea because I still have a human side to take care of.
Yeah,
Alright.
same.
So we're probably going to go to the sushi bar. You poor people who need to eat and sleep.
I
mean, if I'm really... You said I can't use supernatural powers, but if I really wanted to, I have everything I need for sustenance in my lair, so...
If I weren't using supernatural powers, I could eat literally anything, including both of you.
I don't have the
if I
right
was
activism for
using
that,
them.
but one exists.
If I was using them, I could eat a steel pillar if I wanted to.
Eventually, I'll have relentless assault and unbreakable and look
Alright.
skull.
I'm getting called downstairs. I think we should end the scene here, though. Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Alright.
That's
We
fine.
can end the scene of us going out.
Yeah.
And moving on to the sushi bar or
Alright.
whatever.
Bye, guys.
Take care.